So you have your All-American team, right?
Yep.
Now, I want to just...
It's a fun exercise.
It was. You have all your papers, so you got everything ready. I want to warn people, though. It's about a team moving ahead.
Yes.
So guys like Parisi and Suter, they may not be on here. It doesn't mean they're not worthy. It means we're looking forward, correct?
Yeah, some of the guys we've seen in the past, like the names you've mentioned, David Backus, another player, and many others that have been on teams for the U.S., I feel like we're kind of at an inflection point where it's a little bit of a changing of the guard. Guys that are getting into their, mid-30s and up. So let's take a look at who I think would be the first line of the future. Now, Patrick Kane, that's not the future, but at 30 years old, he did have his best season ever statistically in the National Hockey League with 110 points. Austin Matthews, now he's in the infancy. Here's a player that's 22, like Tkachuk, 22, or going to be in this calendar year. And the fact of the matter is Tkachuk just brings a unique element. Matthews scores goals. Johnny Gaudreau, he makes the list, of course, for me. He's only 25, 99 points last year. All you can say is, wow. Matthews, Eichel, yes, we know all about these guys. And Jack Eichel at over a point a game last year deserves to be there. Joe Pavelski is one guy that kind of hung in there for me as an older player. 38 goals last year didn't help him in my eyes. Can he do it in another year and a half, 2 years, maybe if we see a World Cup, something like that? Yeah, I think he can. The leadership is so strong there. Kyle Connor, what can you say about this guy? Burst onto the scene in Winnipeg, absolutely lit it up last year. Another player, only 23 years old, 34 goals. Blake Wheeler?
Yeah, you have him in the middle here, usually on the wing.
Yeah, that's true. That's exactly true, Matt. But the fact of the matter is the U.S. could use a little bit more help down the center. And Blake Wheeler is a guy, for me, I would move over from that right wing spot that he traditionally plays for Winnipeg. At 33 years old, he would be an older player on this club. But with back-to-back 91-point seasons, can't ignore him. Now, moving over, Brock Besser, 22 years old, 59 goals in 140 games. He's just scratching the surface.
Okay, line 4.
All right, Jake Gensel, 40 goals last year, 25 years old. This is what the next generation of USA players in the Olympics and the World Cup is going to look like. He can skate, he can shoot. He's proven he's a big-time player in the playoffs. He's done it in the regular season. He's got to be there. Dylan Larkin, just speed to burn. He could easily move up the line chart a little bit here, but I like him in this role. And I like another guy that we haven't seen much about, so this may seem a little strange. But Alex Tuch, to me, is an elite player in this league already. I expect him to score 25-plus goals this year for Vegas. Now,
let's talk defense now.
This is really a strength. Just this pair right here. Can you imagine Ryan McDonough and his shutdown capabilities? Yes, I know he can provide offense, but in my opinion, he is the best gap control defenseman that is U.S.-born in the National Hockey League right now. And then how about Seth Jones, 25 years old, just scratching the surface. We're talking about a guy that many of us here at NHL Network absolutely believe will win Norris trophies. Not a Norris trophy, but Norris
multiple
trophies in the future. He's that good.
What about his teammate, Werenski? Is he going to be on this list?
Absolutely.
Oh, there he is.
You see him right there in the second pair. Zach Werenski, he's got size, he's got mobility. He's just 22 years old, and his offensive game is really starting to come together at the National Hockey League level. Charlie McAvoy, hey, look at everybody saw what he could do last year in the playoffs. Quite frankly, everybody's seen what he could do since his first game in the lineup for the Boston Bruins, which happened to start a few years ago against the Ottawa Senators in the playoffs. Now, keep going from there. This may be a surprise to some people, but it's not a surprise to anybody here at NHL Network. And a lot of people found out about Jacob Slavin last year and what he's able to do, leading the Carolina Hurricanes, putting up a lot of points in the playoffs for a guy that hasn't really burst that bubble yet in the regular season. Boy, he was dominant for the Hurricanes. And then John Carlson, talking about putting up points. How about 70 last year at 29 years old? I love what John Carlson brings. I love the development of his game. It's been fun to watch him come into this league, really get his feet underneath him defensively, and then just completely blow it wide open offensively.
Okay,
So he's got to be on the
And
club.
finally, the goalies. But I want to know, as we show folks who you picked, who would you pick to be the starting goaltender out of these two?
Well, it may seem funny because Ben Bishop had such an accomplished year last year, but I'd have to say John Gibson would be the guy for me. I think he's underrated. Wasn't a great season for Anaheim last year, but for all you fans out there that are big fans of the Ducks, if you watch John Gibson, he really kept that team just alive at the start of the season. He's done it before in stretches. He would be my selection for that, but I'd feel pretty darn good if I had to go with Ben Bishop too, because he was amazing for Dallas last year. Almost got them at least one round deeper. That unfortunate double overtime loss to the St. Louis Blues, eventual Stanley Cup
I want to
champions.
point something out. This man has papers and a computer and a phone. He ad-libbed that entire 7 minutes.
We are supposed to know the players here, Matt.
Well, no, I'm just, you didn't look down one time.